cause I be busting the dope moves. But the problem stay the same. How you riding for the cash when you ain't riding in my lane? Shorty all about a paper, so your mixture look the same. In the game I play the lane like Eddie Kane, cause I be busting the dope moves.
Cause I do. Cause I do. Cause I do.
No, you don't.
Cause I do, Pac. I own you, Pac. I own you.
You definitely don't. You definitely don't. Rick not privy to the information I got.
Pac, I own you. Because you and Dane Calloway make it up as y'all go. Y'all connect dots.
I knew about this stuff way before Dan
I'm not saying you didn't. I'm not
before.
saying you didn't, but I can ask you questions that annihilate your intellect and show that you have a personal bias. Paco, is the mass majority of black people in the Americas Native Americans?
Yes.
That's wrong.
It's not wrong at all.
You can't even understand it, Paco. Paco, I didn't say they weren't. Paco, listen. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Even in school grade, I knew we was at least from England, France, and shit like that.
Paco, we not from
just
fucking
by the
Europe.
Information I knew
Paco,
that.
we not from Europe. We from Africa.
No, I don't think so no more. But the boat situation, even back then, I'm like, y'all only really can leave from like Spain to make it to America.
That's not true. That's your personal opinion. It depends, Paco. It depends on how good the sailing technology is. That's the end of that. It depends, Paco. 7,000 years ago, I agree with you. 99.
No motorboats back then,
Paco.
No motorboats.
But you don't need it. You just need sailing technology. People sail around the world.
With wind that take you a certain direction, you can't.
Yes, Paco. Yes, Paco. So what you do? So what you do is you draw the sails, and then you pull the sails up. When the wind is not blowing in your direction, you pull the sails up. Paco, it's not hard to understand. You don't, because listen, Paco, Paco, it's just like driving a car. Paco, it's just like driving a car. Once you understand the technology and understand how it works, and you've been working with it for hundreds, if not thousands of years, you can sail further distances. This has been the story of the world. And this is before any engines of any kind exist. The Asians, Paco, the Indians, the people getting to all those different islands, the people getting from Carthage to Spain, even though that's such a small distance to travel, from Morocco to Portugal or whatever, or to Spain, whatever it is, that's a small distance to go. That's why it goes back so far. But people crossing the Atlantic don't go back as far as people crossing the Mediterranean, or people crossing the Indian Ocean, or people windsurfing to islands, because those things are easier done. So when you get to a certain point in history, Paco, there's people who can prove they had the technology.
I'm glad that show cracked, because niggas fuck with it. You sound good.
Nah,
That's about it, bro. And everything you teach now is the shit I taught you.
Paco, you
that's
can say what you want.
Negra Congo speaking anything anymore.
Paco, but Paco, that's not your information. Paco, that's not your information. Paco, that information. Paco, that information been out since you've been in high school, and I've never heard you say that. But the last couple years,
it might have been, but nobody showed me it.
But it don't matter. Don't mean it's your information, Paco. What I'm telling you is this.
I read on it, nigga. I went to fucking
as did most of the people. But Paco, listen to what you're saying. What you saying contradicts itself.
And when I started, it was like I keep telling you, it was me and one person.
If we're Niger Congo speaking people, Paco, if we're Niger Congo speaking people, how are we not African? How do we not come? How do the black people in America not come from Africa?
What's going on?
If they're Niger Congo speaking people.
They pretty good. Like, get some work? Nah, I was getting my car checked out. You hit a deer? Oh, man. Where? In Northtown? No. Oh. I forgot your name again. Calvin. Calvin? Yeah. I'm Pop. You're a good man, man. You too, man. Definitely. Take care, bro. All right.
Just answer that one question for me.
What?
If the black people in America is Niger Congo speaking people, how are they not Africans?
Well, I just said it was a long time ago.
Yeah, you put a number on it. You put a number of 100,000 years, which you can't prove.
What I'm telling you is this. The stuff I'm telling you.
Paco, what I'm asking you is this. If I take an African right now, and I take a group of Africans and put them on
But that's how you like to think. That's
nah,
not how
I'm
everybody
asking you a
thinks.
question. I'm trying to figure out how you get to your conclusions. Paco, if people are Niger Congo speaking Africans and they get to America, when do they stop being Africans?
After a couple thousand years, absolutely.
What science do you
And
have that says that?
those people different than
Paco,
the
what science
rest.
do you have that says that?
What
That
you mean?
after a
What I
few
just told
thousand
you.
years,
That is mine.
Paco, after a few thousand years, people are not the same people according to you. How, I'm asking? How is that a fact? Are Europeans that live in America no longer Europeans?
Not currently they are, but not really.
Currently they are, but not really. What does that mean?
A couple hundred years, it might change.
A couple hundred years, it might change. How would it change?
Because they long going.
But what would change them?
Personalities, culture.
So let me get this right. Your personality,
amalgamation.
your personality and your culture changes who you are.
Amalgamation, do.
You're a what?
Amalgamation, like mixing and things like that.
Oh, being acclimated. Okay, so now I'm glad you said that, because now we can get to the crux of the argument. If black people are in America 100,000 years, then you just gave me two theories that cannot exist in the same realm. The theory of them being there 100,000 years is what would change them would be incorrect, but them mixing with other people would be the only thing that could change them, correct?
Oh, that's the dude I was talking to was the African dude, so we on the same page.
What I'm asking you is this. What I'm asking you is
I was a
this.
good dude,
And I said the same thing in the last video that came out. I said the same thing in the last video that came out, but I'm trying to figure this out. You just said white people can change from mixing with people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So black people can change from mixing with people too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the only way black people could change is if another group of people were in the Americas, right? So they would not stop being African until they mix. And we must always remember, there's never evidence in any mixing situation of all the people mixing. I can prove all of them didn't, because there are still black people in South America today. Those people. Okay, go ahead.
Those Europeans you talking about don't got no home to go to, just like we don't.
No, I'm not talking about where. I'm not talking about where your home is. I asked you, are they still Europeans? I didn't ask you where they go. I asked you, are they European? Are they European people? Is what I asked you.
Currently, not for long.
Okay, so you said not for long, but I can poke holes through that whole theory, because you're not looking at the number of Europeans they're dealing with. Everybody else is a minority compared to them. So how would a smaller population assimilate a larger one? What you would see is what you see in Mexico. What I told you the other day. Most of the Mexican population is white Hispanic. They're not black Hispanic. Most of them
people there.
Yes, we agree. Just like we're here, just like they're in Brazil, just like they're in Chile, just like they're in Argentina, they're in Dominican Republic, they're in Puerto Rico, but they're not the whole of the population. So even to this day, they're not the majority. And that's what I've been explaining to you since day one. There's no way that white people could come over here and bring over all different types of people from their continent. Make some of them go to servitude. I mean, they brought enough people to take over the whole continent. The thing you fail to realize is before they were in the Americas, they were already in Europe. They were already getting slaves from Africa. This is the part that people don't understand when they start talking about black Moors and they start talking about, I'm not saying that about Etruscans. Me and you agree there. The black Etruscans, the Etruscans that are black, because all of them are not. The ones that are do not come from black slaves. We both agree there.
No, not at all. That's
we both
agree.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Just 300 years later, the Romans had, less than 300 years later, the Roman had black slaves from Africa.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, not the Etruscans. We agree. Not the Etruscans. Not the Etruscans. The Etruscans come from the Villanovan period. So we talking about 1150 BC to about 700 BC. That's called
you good with the dates? Go ahead.
So that's called the Villanovan period. So basically, the Etruscans are Italy before Italy. Italy before Rome. Right. Yeah. Italy before Rome. Italy before the Celts invade. Or the Germanics.
And they amalgamated with the Grecians, right?
Well, no. I mean, yes, you're correct. They both, like, the Grecian culture is kind of on par, even though the Etruscans is a little bit before. Facts. The Etruscans is a little bit before the Grecians. They both take things from each other. The Etruscans have different cultures to a certain extent, but what we must realize is, back to the video where I showed all the mythology, the Etruscans had a pantheon as well. Etruscans, Grecians, Romans, if you want to trace it back to where it was black, it comes from the people he always talk about, the Phoenicians. So when he tell y'all this is our story, this is the white man's story he's telling y'all. He's telling y'all the black people that was involved in the white man's story. He's not telling you the story of black people all over Africa.
They don't even mention them people. So
no, of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't, y'all.
That's hard to believe.
Listen, y'all, of course they wouldn't. But these people, according to what he just said, agreed to, these black people from North Africa, who was mixed race at one time, agreed, who did.
Just like the Grecians. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. The Grecians, right. There was black people in Greece. There's black people in Etrusca. There's black people in Rome. Even though the black people from Etrusca don't come from where the black people Greece, Rome. Mm-hmm. Right. They're not the same black folks. They've been there. They've been there. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Part of their population had not been turned white. These people are indigenous to that place. Some people, only reason people think they came from Anatolia is because that's what some European Herodotus said in his works. That's the only reason, the only stitch of evidence that links these people to Anatolia or the Turkey region is what Herodotus said. Everything else about them, yes, their alphabet comes from the Phoenicians, just like the Romans and the Grecians. Same thing. They got their alphabet from the Phoenician people, just the same way. So there's things we know about the Etruscans and things we don't. And some people like to say that they got it from the alphabet from the Romans, who got it from the Phoenicians. But I ain't even going to talk about none of that bullshit. What I want black folks to understand is this.
You just said Herodotus, though, so you might be out the mix.
Nah, that's where Paco. Over the last day, I probably watched 3 things, and I researched everything I watched that I wanted to know if it's true. Or is that at least what they're saying, claiming to be true? The only evidence, there's 3 pieces of evidence of who the Etruscans were according to the archaeologists. The actual things they found, the connections to the people
they found link back to Peru, though, so.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
The stonework still.
No, they don't. This is what I'm trying to explain to him, y'all. If the people of the Italic Peninsula come to America and they take over, then some stone things in Peru can match. But the things that are older don't match, y'all. We know Aztec civilization don't look like anything in Europe. We know that Mayan civilization don't look like anything in Europe. We know that Olmec civilization don't look like anything in Europe. So when I do it, I go Olmec, Mayan, Aztec, Incan, Iroquois. Those is the 5 big dogs to me. Everybody else is a little guy to them because they actually left the monuments, not just the tribalism, and they people are still around, but they've been assimilated into other groups because they was forced out of their home and they was forced into whatever population and community they was forced into. So, I mean, you're going to have people of Mayan descent in Mexico and people of Mayan descent in Brazil because they was forced to go to these places. I understand it. My whole thing is this.
Go ahead.
Everybody has their own shit. What I want y'all to understand is this. The people in Asia who cross the Bering Strait, there's certain practices that Native American cultures in America have. That's not a coincidence. Europeans who come over here, however they got from Europe, in whichever continent, continent, South or North America, it doesn't matter. They still got European practices. Now the black people, y'all, the blacks of the South and North America and of South America still have African traditions and cultures This man just earlier talked about your culture.
Hebrew.
Listen, y'all. He just said, listen, y'all. He's saying that voodoo is not Hebrew, y'all.
Hebrew and Phoenician. Y'all,
listen. Voodoo is not Phoenician nor Hebrew. Voodoo starts amongst my people, West Africans. Voodoo. That's all. We talking about Dogons, y'all. We know Dogons is black. Dogons is not North Africans. We all know that. We talking about the people who understood the stars first. My people, West Africans. We taught the world about the stars. They saw it and didn't understand it. No, so the world says. So the ancient people say, like Egypt, like Mesopotamia, they got legends about the Dogon, about the pitch black travelers.
Egypt had legends about over here. So
just like,
what's your point?
My point is this: they're not the same people. When you talking about Hebrew was forced on black Africans. We didn't come up with that. We came up under that. We came up under Christianity. We came up under Islam. We were not a part of the beginnings of those things. We did not pray to those gods. We did not believe in that. The blackest people you're going to find who believed in Baal and anything that come from Baal, anything that come out of Mesopotamia. Sumerians, they believed in Baal. Canaanites believed in Baal because Baal was the guy out there. But y'all got to understand, Baal is Afro-Asiatic.
Yeah.
Baal is not Niger Congo.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not, y'all. Shango is Niger Congo.
You just separating it by the name.
I'm not. No, I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all it's the same concept. Me and him agree there. It's the same concept. Where it come from, I'm not gonna argue where it come from. Everybody got their own reasons for believing it come from here. There's probably a white person in Kentucky that'll tell me it come from Grecians, which was the last motherfuckers to get it. But I mean, the point is, they not the same people. They don't speak the same language. They don't believe in the same.
Originally, they came from the same stock.
No, they didn't, y'all. Listen, y'all, black folks have been separated and creating diverse groups of people far longer than any of the shit me and him argue about.
And that still don't change that.
It do change it, y'all. He trying to go back to day one, and his theory is still off because of what we know.
But that's what he keep telling me about, that they that Americans, since they've been here, they got to be the same thing, but he just contradicted himself.
How?
When he said they two different groups. So,
I already said that we different, but what I'm saying is, do you understand the difference between a person who, let's use just Mexico, let's stick with Mexico. What's the difference between a white Mexican and a black Mexican, Paco?
The darker ones are original.
Y'all, he wrong.
For sure.
Listen, y'all, he wrong. I can tell y'all what it really means. A white Mexican is a European that mixed with a Native American. Now, the reason they're white is because they come from predominantly Europeans. What that means is that the next in line was more than likely white. That's what that means, y'all. So when you're white,
it was a practice, yeah.
No. It's deeper than a practice. It's deeper than a practice, y'all. It's deeper than a practice. I'm gonna show y'all why. Because there are Native Americans who mix with black people too. Now we can all just getting them
out of there too.
Listen, y'all, we can all just use our minds and understand that they would look different. Now listen to what I'm telling y'all. When they did a study in Mexico, when they asked how many people identify as African, less than 2 million people responded yes. Now, what you got to realize is there will be black people who come from black Africans and Native Americans who will get assimilated into the white population because the white population is the majority.